Right. I want to talk about this because this is something that the youth is interested in, and I'm trying to reach the youth as well as you know, others. You understand? Now, here's the thing. King Von was a rapper from Chicago who was murdered in Atlanta in 2020. He was murdered after he got into a fisticuffs with Quando Rondo. Quando Rondo's friend was actually, a few hundred feet from the fight, and he was sitting inside a vehicle. And he was sitting inside a vehicle, so he had a perfect view of the fight, and he basically utilized his firearm in order to get his buddy Quando Rondo into safety, to get him out of danger, because King Von was. And you got to understand, King Von has been in jail for the majority of his life. He's done interviews where he said, "I spent most of my life in prison, jail, institutions." And psychologically, in his mind, whenever there's a conflict between men, you throw those hands. I think he understood that he was in the real world now, but I still think that, King Von was only out of prison for a few years, maybe 3 or 4 years at the point when he died. So you can't just wash away that institutionalization. He was institutionalized, and obviously that's the reason why King Von felt that he could box it out. He had been gone for a few years. You understand what I'm saying? And here's the thing that I really want to speak about. King Von, where would he be in life if there was no drill fan base? And when I say drill fan base, I really mean kill fan base. I'm talking about the fact that you can go on Google, type in Chiracology Reddit. It'll take you to a Reddit page where you've got a community of over 20,000 kids who want to know who killed who in Chicago, which gang killed who. They're watching Spot News. Spot News basically is like a ticker that updates you on shootings and stuff like that all throughout the city. People on Reddit, they want to know who shot who on this block, who killed who on that block, which rappers, gang member friends have the most bodies. You understand what I'm saying? So where would King Von be if there wasn't a community that worshiped him because he was alleged to be a five-time killer? You've got documentaries online. Ever since King Von got out of prison, the hype up around his name was he's a murderer. He's a murderer. He kills people. He's already got 5 alleged bodies. He came out of prison from homicides. He beat a body. You understand? And the crazy thing is, after King Von died in 2020, the CPD, Chicago Police Department, said that he was a suspect in a couple of homicides, cold cases. And he was also going to get indicted for the murder of FBG Duck, which was the black disciples, gangster disciples. That's the conflict, essentially. King Von is a black disciple. FBG Duck was a gangster disciple. They're the same thing, really. When they're in prison, they fall under the same nation, but unfortunately in the streets they go to war. Kind of like the Sereno gangs in California. They're all a part of Sir 13 in prison, but, when they're on the streets, they fight. But basically, the allure around his name was King Von is a murderer. King Von is a murderer, and that basically, and then you already had a community of fans that love murderers. They're on the internet 24/7 trying to figure out murders, trying to figure out. I mean, there's actually a Killopedia named after the Wikipedia, Killopedia, where you can actually go through the Wikipedia and find out who killed who. And if you think I'm lying, let me pull it up for you. It's called the Chirac Wikipedia, and it tells you who killed who and all of this stuff. And if you think I'm lying, here it is. And I hope I found it because that'll make me look real cool. The Chirac Wiki. You know what I mean? The Chirac Wiki. It's a Wikipedia that tells you who killed who. And it might have been deleted because that was kind of weird. Hold on. Yeah, see, look. All right, here's an example of the wiki. Boss Top, a black disciple from the old block, said he once broke into Chief Keef's home and stole things. Assisted bodies. Assisted bodies meaning who did he help kill? Little 4, Boss Trail, a cluck meaning a random drug addict, innocent victim, people he shot at. So if you think I'm lying, this is how the Chirac Wikipedia looked. Now, so King Von, when he came out of prison, he came into an online, he came into an atmosphere where his story was awesome and the fans would eat it up, because at the end of the day, the fans of drill music, yes, they appreciate real talent, but they also appreciate people who have real stories. And King Von just beat homicides. And King Von was alleged to have been involved in other homicides. So King Von basically became famous because he was a killer. But imagine if there was none of that. Imagine if people weren't interested in who you killed and how gangster you are. Imagine if that fan base didn't exist. Where would King Von be? King Von would be in prison. King Von probably would have died. King Von, I mean, it's so many things, but we know he wouldn't have become a famous rapper, because what made him able to be a famous rapper was his buzz on the internet. You understand? And then as he started getting better and better with his lyrical skills and his cadence, his flow, his concepts, people started to actually take him seriously as a rapper. But he never would have been taken seriously as a rapper if he wasn't a killer. So you can actually say that if it weren't for King Von killing people and having all these bodies, his family wouldn't be successful. His family would be poor instead of rich, because he was a killer of his own kind, his own skin color. And by the way, man, if you're not hip to my channel and you one of these kids, look, yo, don't question me. Just listen, because you need a grown man to tell you facts. You're so used to people placating you and lying to you. These are facts. If you're a thinker, stay. If you're a feeler, get the hell out of here. And yeah. So if King Von wasn't a killer, he wouldn't have been successful. And that's just such an ironic thing for a black man. If you weren't killing black men, you'd be poor. But because you did kill black people, and because all of these kids on the internet from the suburbs love that kind of stuff. And like I said, here's the wiki. That's the wiki. And I can go through several other wikis. If you don't believe me? All right, come on. Lil Sean, PBG, bodies. Daryl, he killed Albert, Von LaFleur, V12, Blake, people he shot at. Come on, dog. King Von would have been poor. J Money from O Block, people he shot at, long list, people he killed. So if King Von never killed, he would have never been famous. And if he would have never been famous, his family would have never been rich. Think about that.